So if you're moving to the Atlanta area and you want to live in one of the most walkable neighborhoods here in the city, well, then you definitely need to consider Inman Park. That's what I'm going to talk about today. I'm going to walk around this neighborhood. I'm going to get a lot of walking in because it is very walkable. So I'm going to tell you about this unique neighborhood and tell you about the home styles. And you're going to find a lot of cool Victorian styles like the home right behind me here. And I'll tell you what there is to do here, and there is a lot. This is a small neighborhood, but it packs a big punch. So let's get after it. Let's talk all about living in Inman Park right now. Hey guys, my name is Molly and welcome back to my channel where I talk all things here in the Atlanta area. So if you haven't followed along, make sure you hit that subscribe button so you can do so. But let's get right into it. We're talking about Inman Park today. I've actually done a vlog tour on Inman Park, but it was a couple years ago, so I wanted to do a refresher. So if you haven't seen that video, don't worry, I'm going to catch you up to speed on this video. But we're gonna walk all along Inman Park, and actually I'm gonna start walking towards all of the restaurants and the shops, the main hub, if you will, of the Inman Park area, which is right along North Highland Avenue. But as I am walking there, let me put up a map so you can see where Inman Park is at. You're going to see it is a tiny little neighborhood just about 3 miles east of the downtown area. Getting around town, getting to the airport is about a 20-minute commute. Midtown is 10 minutes. Downtown is 7 minutes. And getting over to Buckhead, now that's going to take longer. That's going to take about 25 minutes, but add on some extra time if you're traveling during those high peak traffic times, because traffic can get pretty bad. So there you go. Now let me keep walking up this hill, and I'm just going to take you right to the main heart of the Inman Park area where everyone likes to go. I mean, Inman Park is packed with restaurants and places to grab a glass of wine, and it's also right by the Beltline, so I'm going to get into all of that. But let me just walk down the street so you can just see how close we are to the main hub. And I will say, because Inman Park is so small, no matter where you live in the neighborhood, you can easily walk to these restaurants. So that's just a brief tour of the main hub of Inman Park, where a lot of restaurants are, and that's what Inman Park is known for, just having some really great restaurants. In fact, Del Bar, just across the street from here, it's a Persian restaurant, really good to go on an empty stomach. So great local restaurants here, and I'm just going to turn the corner here and walk you over to another attraction that makes this neighborhood so walkable, and that is the Atlanta Beltline. The Atlanta Beltline basically runs on the edge of this neighborhood. And since I've done my last tour of Inman Park, there's been developments on the Beltline, like a new section. I'll get to that in a little bit, but let me just walk over here so you can see how close we are to the Beltline. And if you have noticed, especially on North Highland, you're going to get a mix of commercial on the first floor and then either apartments or condos above it. So whether you're looking to rent or buy, there's a little bit for everybody. I'll get into more of the housing here in a second. They are doing some construction right behind me, so hopefully you can hear me, but let me walk over to the Beltline right now. Okay, so I'm on the Atlanta Beltline. If you don't know what the Atlanta Beltline is, watch some of my other YouTube videos of living on the Beltline. I have a couple of them out there so you can get a refresher there, but it's a great walking, jogging trail, and you can see it is literally like a half block away from all of the restaurants on North Highland. You're gonna find apartments like this building right behind me, mixed in with a luxury townhomes on the other side. These were built in 2014 to 2017. These are called Highland Park. So if you're looking for a luxury townhome, these will cost you around $1.2 to $1.5 million, but great location, literally steps away from the Beltline. And then coming up, we've got some lofts. These are called the Grinnell Lofts, and they're about like a 2-bedroom condo unit, and those will run you around $700,000. But if you went back this way, you would hit Ponce City Market. That's probably less than a half a mile walk, so that's another popular attraction that you can walk to from Inman Park on the Beltline. And I'm just going to walk up just a little ways and cut back into the neighborhood where you're going to find some more luxury townhomes. All right, so I just peeled off of the Beltline and I'm right by the Mariposa Lofts. This is an apartment complex, and that's one thing I love about Inman Park is that, you know, Inman Park, it gets expensive, but there are apartment complexes in the neighborhood that you can live at, or there are townhomes that are a little bit cheaper. I'll get into all the prices here in a little bit. One thing I also forgot to mention was that, you know, when I was walking down North Highland with all the restaurants, well, I'm walking early in the morning before things are really open, so it seems a little dead, but believe me, during the weekends and in evenings, it's going to be packed. I'm just trying to get this video in before, oops, I'm about to get run over. I'm trying to get this video in before it gets blazing hot, so I'm trying to beat the heat this morning. Okay, so let's talk about townhomes here in the Inman Park neighborhood. So I'm right behind Inman Village. These are a series of townhomes built in 2012. They're going to range anywhere from $900,000 up to about, I think the most recent sale was $1.26 million for one of the larger units like this. There are also some smaller ones, which I'm going to walk by here in a second. But most of the townhomes here, you're going to get pretty good sized units, and you're gonna have to pay a lot of money for them. But there are smaller townhomes where you can pay maybe in the mid 5s to 600K range, and they're gonna be smaller, maybe only a 2-bedroom versus a 3-bedroom, but there is that option as well. So I'm just gonna keep on walking and then talk about condos next, and then we'll get into the single family homes. But speaking of single family homes, if you're kind of curious, okay, what am I gonna have to pay to live here? Well, the average sales price for a single family home in this neighborhood right now is around $1.361 million. So it does get expensive in Inman Park, and sometimes the homes, what you get for the money isn't a lot. So you definitely pay up to live in this neighborhood, but the walkability is incredible. Okay, so let's talk about condos here in the Inman Park area. I am right behind one building. It's kind of hard to see because there are so many trees in the way, but this is 870 Inman, and there right around the corner is another condo building called Inman Park Village Lofts. Both of these, if you want a 1-bedroom, for example, you're gonna be paying in the mid 300K price range, and some of these will be a little bit more on the older, dated looking side. But you know, if you really want an old condo, there are some smaller condo garden style buildings in Inman Park, and here you might find an older style condo, not a lot of square footage, a little bit cheaper, but it is going to feel very, very old and creaky floors, not an updated kitchen, that kind of thing. But the location for these condos right here, they are amazing because literally it is around the corner from that Del Bar, and they must be prepping because I can smell their meat on the grill. It smells so good. So I'm gonna keep walking now down the street, and you know, like I said, I'm just walking everywhere because this neighborhood is so walkable. I mean, literally, if you went into Google and said walkable neighborhoods in Atlanta, Inman Park is definitely going to be on that list. I would say Inman Park is probably one of the top 3 walkable neighborhoods here in the Atlanta area. But hey, if you're thinking about making a move to the Atlanta area and you want further help with your home search, or reach out to me, don't be shy, shoot me a text, give me a call, send me an email, whatever you want to do. All my contact information is down below in the comments. Let's schedule a conversation and we can talk about an area that fits your lifestyle and your budget. So can't wait to hear from you. Okay, I'm gonna keep on walking and let's talk a little bit about some single family homes, and then stay tuned because I'm going to show you more restaurants and things you can walk to in this neighborhood. Yeah, I'm not done. So hang in there with me. Now, single family homes in the Inman Park area, what you're going to find is a lot of these are very old bungalows, 1930 style bungalows, or the grand Victorian mansion style homes. I'm going to show you a bunch more in a second. But if you want something a little bit newer, there are some newer homes that you can find in this area, like right behind me. These were built in 2005. There's not going to be a lot of yard. There is a garage on them, but you're going to be paying around 1.6 to 1.675. So they are definitely not cheap, but they are very close to the restaurants there off of North Highland, like literally probably 2 blocks away. So it is a great walking distance to those restaurants and the other ones that I'm going to show you here in a little bit. But let me keep walking and show you some more home examples. Okay, I wanted to give you one example of a bungalow here in Inman Park that is kind of like the average price point, if you will. And that is right behind me is this cute bungalow with a big rocking chair front porch. This sold for just around 1.375 million. It's a 4-bed, 3.5 bath, just over 2,700 square feet. And it has some original character, but original hardwoods that have been refinished. The bathrooms have all been updated. It kind of has a modern, updated kitchen. So there you go. That's an example of what you can find here in the Inman Park area. Okay, so if you are a lover of old historic homes, you're going to really love Inman Park because there are a lot of older homes, a lot of Victorian mansion style homes. I mean, Asa Candler, one of the founders of Coca-Cola, lived in this neighborhood. I mean, check out this home right behind me. So you'll find these huge Victorian style mansions. I would say overall, the lot sizes in Inman Park are going to be small. Homes are going to be squeezed together on these small little lots. But if you get one of the mansion style homes, you're going to get probably 0.4, 0.5 acres. Most of the homes are not going to have a garage. You're just going to get a driveway. But some of these homes will have like a carport situation going on. But if you're wondering what does it cost to get one of these old historic mansions, well, like this beautiful red one right behind me, this one costs $2.2 million. It's over 4,000 square feet and only 3 bedrooms, but it had all these different little sitting rooms and entertaining rooms and that kind of thing. So the square footage just builds up from there. But beautiful home, original woodworking, a beautiful spiral staircase. So a lot of charm in these homes. But you know, one thing you need to think about though, if you're going to be buying an old home anywhere in Atlanta, is I think people love the charm and the character of them, but they don't think about the cost of maintaining one of these old homes. There is a cost to maintaining these homes. And you know, when you get an inspection on one of these old homes, it might freak you out because these homes are not going to be meeting code today. And it's not going to be a perfect home. And some of them will have cast iron pipe and the crawl space will be a disaster. And so, you know, these homes are not for the person that's on a tight budget. You do not want to be investing in one of these homes because it is going to require some maintenance. Things break, insulation may not be great. So just a little FYI if you are thinking about some of these older style homes, but they are beautiful. And one other thing I might add is that in Inman Park, this is a historic district. So don't think that you can come in and just go bananas and renovate the exterior of a home. You really have to get permission from the planning organization, and they are very, very strict. So they really want to keep the integrity of this neighborhood and the charm. They really just don't want people to come and destroy all of the history that is in this neighborhood by, you know, tearing down these homes or renovating to make them look modern or whatever in style. So that's just another little FYI for you here in the Inman Park neighborhood. One quick stop here over in Springvale Park, just to point out that, yeah, Inman Park does have a couple of different green spaces, and this is one of them. This has a small little playground, so if you've got small young kids and you need to get out the wiggles, take them over here. There's also a nice little pond and usually some ducks around, so this is just a nice little green space here in the center of this neighborhood. Okay, as I continue to walk through this neighborhood to get some more shots for you to include in this video, let me tell you a little bit about the school situation. So if you watched my original Inman Park vlog tour, the schools have actually changed just a little bit. So the elementary school has a rezone. So now the elementary school zone to Inman Park is Springdale Park Elementary School. The middle school is still Howard Middle School, and the high school is Midtown High School. So these schools are all ranked very well. So they did a little bit of restructuring of the elementary schools. Springdale Park is definitely a highly ranked school if you go online. So that is one selling point of this neighborhood for families that want that kind of urban walkable lifestyle, but still get, you know, the house and the yard and that kind of thing. Now let me touch on some of the pros and cons of Inman Park. Pros, definitely, you know, highly ranked schools, definitely very, very walkable, and location, location, location. And Inman Park has one of the best festivals, in my opinion, here in the Atlanta area. It's the Inman Park Festival. It just happened a couple months ago at the end of April of every year. They have one of the best arts and crafts festivals. If you are here during that time, make sure you can go visit it. You can get off the MARTA, which is also here in this neighborhood, so it makes it very convenient to get over here and enjoy the festival. So now some of the cons. Well, I would say Inman Park is just expensive. You know, buying a small little bungalow, sometimes you don't get a lot for that bungalow. It needs some interior upgrading, and you still have to pay $800,000 to $900,000. I mean, in this neighborhood, I would say getting a single family home, you need to have at least $1 million, if not a little bit more, to get a decent bungalow in this neighborhood. And of course, the price goes up from there the more it is updated and the more rooms it has, and so on and so forth. Another con, I would say, is that, you know, there's usually not a lot of homes to choose from at any one time. So if you're getting excited by watching this video and you think, man, I want to live in this neighborhood, well, get in line, because a lot of other people want to. So homes can be competitive in this neighborhood, for one, and there's just not a lot of homes for sale at any one time. In fact, in the last 6 months, there's been 14 homes, actually 6 that have sold, and the rest are either active or under contract. So just not a lot of home activity sales in this neighborhood, but I guess that's a good sign, right? People don't want to leave. So that would be the other con of this neighborhood. Otherwise, there's really nothing else to complain about. So currently I'm at the southern edge of this neighborhood, right along DeKalb Avenue. I wanted to point out this road, one, because it is a very busy road, and you will see that there are townhomes that are right next to DeKalb Avenue. Just know that you're going to hear that traffic noise, and more importantly, the MARTA line, and there's a train line right here along DeKalb Avenue too. So you're gonna hear a lot of noise. Now, once you live in a townhome that's right along here, I'm sure after a little while you don't even hear it anymore, but it is just something to take note of. But guys, if you want a good breakfast burrito and some great coffee, here's one place you need to go. It is right behind me here, right by the MARTA station. It's called The Daily. It is so good. Trust me, try the breakfast burrito. You will not be disappointed. But that's also one other thing I want to point out is the MARTA station is right here. So that is just a great thing about Inman Park, is that you can, hop on here and head to the airport really, really easily. And do you hear those church bells that were just ringing there? If you didn't hear them, well, there is a church right around the corner, and I will always love that church because that is where I got married. One thing I always forget about this neighborhood is that it has very lush tree landscaping lining the streets. So even on a hot day, you can get some really good shade. So it's going to be in the high 80s here today. And while I am hot when I'm in the sun, there's plenty of shade to cool me down as I walk along these streets. One other thing I should mention about Inman Park is, where do you do your grocery shopping, right? So if you are looking to get some grocery shopping done, the closest place is either going to be over in the Edgewood Shopping Center. There's a Kroger, there is a Target over there, but if you want Publix, just go up to Ponce de Leon and you're gonna find a Publix there, and those will probably be your closest shopping spots. Now, one thing I want to point out is right behind me, this is a private swimming club that you can join. It's the Inman Park Pool. So it usually has a wait list, so you just need to put your name on the wait list if you want to get a membership here. Sometimes when people sell their homes, they can transfer that pool membership, which can also be beneficial. But it's a small little pool. It's nothing special, but it is nice to have something in your neighborhood to dip into on a hot summer day. So most of the townhomes that I've talked about so far have been on the more expensive side, but if you have a budget more in that $600K price range, this is an example of a townhome complex that you could look into. This one's called Inman Muse. It's a small, intimate neighborhood, probably a collection of, I don't know the exact count, but probably like 20 to 30 units. They are 2-bedroom, 2.5 bath with a 1-car garage, or maybe it's a tandem where you can put 2 cars in a tandem garage. These will run you close to around the $600K price point. So there's an option for you, but again, these are right off of DeKalb Avenue. In fact, I'm going to walk around DeKalb Avenue to show you a staple here in the Atlanta area, which is Krog Street Tunnel. So right behind me here, this is at the intersection of DeKalb Avenue and Krog Street. This is the Krog Street Tunnel, and this is like a landmark here in Atlanta. You have to drive through it one time. It actually is part of the Beltline. The Beltline goes underneath of this. There's some Atlanta road rage right there. But anyway, people will come and spray paint art under this tunnel, or just like random graffiti, whatever. It will probably get spray painted over within 24 hours. So it's just kind of an ever revolving door of art. But you definitely need to walk through here or drive through here. I run through here all the time. But I remember when I first moved here, before Inman Park was really built up, I really thought this was like a scary place to be. And it kind of was at the time. But now it is just like a cool landmark. should also mention that Krog Street tunnel, when it downpours, it will be prone to flooding. So you don't want to bring in your car through there. Instead, you'll want a canoe. Okay, I'm going to head on the Beltline again and weave my way back to where the Krog Street Market is. That's kind of my final stop here in the Inman Park area. And the Krog Street Market has exploded in growth with lots of additional buildings being built around there. So that wasn't in my original Inman Park video tour. So you're going to get a little sneak peek at what that looks like today. So let's keep walking on the Beltline. One stop right before I get over to the Krog Street Market. So right behind me, these are probably the most expensive townhomes that you'll find in the Inman Park area. These are the residents at Studioplex, and they range from like $1.5 to $1.7 million. You literally get like oceanfront property here on the Beltline. You get to people watch, and then right below you, you can see it is just a line of different commercial places to eat or exercise, that kind of thing, grab some ice cream. So this is a really great spot here in the Inman Park area. It kind of borders the Old Fourth Ward neighborhood as well. But let me keep going and head over to Krog Street Market. So this building to the left of me is called the Atlanta Stove Works, and I remember when, you know, Krog Street wasn't here and I went and ate at Kevin Rathbun's steakhouse there. I felt like it was kind of in the middle of nowhere, but my, how things have changed. But this old building used to be a potbelly stove and metal pan factory back in the day. So kind of cool how they've repurposed this into office and commercial spaces. Let me keep going and show you what else is new at the Krog Street Market. And plus, you're going to see that it is a small little food hall too, so pretty cool. I treated myself to a little smoothie there in the Krog Street Market, and the Krog Street Market opened its doors originally in 2014, and some of the vendors have been there for the long haul, and some of the food stations have changed over the years, but it is just a great another destination to go to if you live here in the Inman Park area. And of course, if you're just walking on the Beltline, you can drop off here and get something to eat. But you guys, that concludes my tour of the Inman Park neighborhood. What did you think? I got lots and lots of steps in today. I didn't even hop in my car one time. I just walked the whole entire neighborhood for you. It's just an amazing, great place to live and hang out. I mean, it's just so walkable, but again, sometimes it's hard to find a house here because they're just not up for sale for very long. But as always, if you're thinking about making a move to the Atlanta area, whether that is tomorrow or next year, reach out to me, shoot me a text, give me a call, send me an email. Would love to help you out and find a place here in the Atlanta area to call home. So make sure if you see me out in the wild, you say hello. But until next time, you guys, I'll see you around the neighborhood. Cheers.